Now to the Marshall Fire, where the state is putting together a concert to raise money for victims, comes as many struggle beginning to rebuild, and investigators are looking to see if someone started the fire or if it came from an underground coal mine or something else. Meantime, state lawmakers want to pass 10 bills totaling more than $30 million for prevention and suppression efforts. Political specialist Sean Boyd joins us live from Boulder with what those bills would do. And Sean, we know your neighborhood, one of those that was devastated by the Marshall Fire.
Karen, our house is one of the few left in our neighborhood on Davidson Mesa. You know, we always knew that living near open space put us at risk, but not at risk of a fire that would lay waste to two towns, devour thousands of homes, and jump a highway to come within a few feet of our house. We don't live in the mountains. The Marshall Fire didn't care. It was a wake-up call. Tonight, how state lawmakers are taking action while one neighborhood isn't waiting.
The first thing we want to do is protect homes and lives from wildfire.
For 10 years, Tim Berg has been sounding the alarm about wildfire prevention in Ken Carroll Valley, but he says no one would listen until 5 weeks ago. Now 300 neighbors have joined his volunteer army on a mission to mitigate the risk of a Marshall Fire here.
We want to do at least a 50% reduction on our vulnerability from wildfires this year,
which he says means cutting trees and bushes close to homes, creating a 10-foot barrier between open space and backyards, and installing landscaping less susceptible to fire. Not only are homes at stake, Berg says, but an archaeological site of national significance.
And the history of this site, right where we're standing, dates back 7,000 years. We do not want to be the last generation. We do not want to be the generation that lets the neighborhood go up in smoke.
He has an ally in Lisa Cutter, his state representative and chair of a legislative committee that met most of last year to come up with a statewide mitigation strategy. Cutter's district includes Evergreen and Conifer, among the top 10 places in the country at risk of property loss from wildfire.
That's where I was really focused, as I was thinking those communities were at risk, and so to have that happen in Boulder was just a huge shock.
She's carrying 4 of the 10 wildfire bills introduced this legislative session. Among them, a bill to provide tax credits to homeowners who create defensible space.
We want to provide some relief to people who are doing the right thing and protecting themselves and their neighbors.
Another bill would provide matching grants to local governments that do mitigation.
If you're a local community, you need local government, it's important that you have some skin in the game too, that you're a partner in this effort.
Fire suppression, also a focus of bills, to install remote cameras with live feeds for early detection and provide more equipment, training, and pay for volunteer firefighters. There's also legislation to create an aggressive campaign to educate Coloradans about wildfire risk and prevention. Tim Berg and his neighbors a step ahead.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. Our group is an action group. We're going to get out and we're going to take action and we're going to get it done this year.
Nearly 3 million Coloradans, more than half the state, now live in wildfire-prone areas. And I can tell you, while fire mitigation is expensive, fire recovery is far more so. The Division of Insurance says losses from the 2020 East Troublesome and Cameron Peak fires alone totaled nearly $500 million. Live in Boulder, Sean Boyd covering Colorado First.